Hi, this is Shubhayan Chakraborty from Cape Town, and we are gearing up for the second test. And this is a new year 2024, a bright start, a new start. And we all hope that the Indian team has a brighter start than they had the finishing of the year 2023 in Centurion. I am joined by a very special guest to start this new year, and he is the bowling guru of the Indian cricket team, someone who had taken Indian bowling to a new height, a fresher height, a height never seen before. I am joined by Bharat Arun sir. Sir, welcome to RevSportz and a very happy new year to you as well.
Oh, yes, thank you very much. It's good to be on the show and wish you a very happy new year.
Absolutely. So let's start with the previous defeat, the defeat in the Boxing Day test, sir. How was your reaction? Because I remember when we were in the press box and seeing that performance, we were like, okay, this is some sort of a couple of days of very bad days on the office for the boys out there. What was your reaction?
Well, to see India come back and Rahul get that century was quite heartening, and there was quite a lot of help in the wicket for the bowlers.
Right.
So we had a very, very positive feeling about the whole thing, and we thought that we could really make a test match out of this. But in the end, I think winning, losing a test match is okay. But I think the way we lost the last test, we surrendered meekly in the second innings is not a good feel.
Right. So Centurion and Cape Town, both are the places which kind of assist the pacers. But I have spoken to a few former South African pacers as well, like Alan Donald, and he emphasized on one thing. He said you can have the hit the deck skills, you can have your pace, you can have your extra bounce, but what is important is control. When you were the bowling coach there, how important was the emphasis on control when bowling in England, Australia, South Africa, New Zealand? What were your inputs when you were having those conversations with your bowlers?
No matter where you bowl, I think control is of paramount importance. So it's about there are two ways you could create pressure on a batsman. Batting.
Right.
Either get wickets or stem the flow of runs. Batters, when you don't allow them free scoring shots, they definitely get under pressure. If you recall the last test match, I said far too many boundaries scored. Right. So I think adapting your bowling to different conditions, I think if you are in good form, just awareness of the conditions is more than sufficient for you to adapt. And I think bowlers at international level should be able to adapt a lot more easily than people who just bowlers who just start up. So I think with the experience that the Indian team has, I think we should have adapted. Bumrah bowled exceptionally well, but the rest of them I don't think supported much. They should have at least not given away so many runs at that pace. The pace at which they get the runs becomes very important for them to set up test matches. So we have to really look. If you ask me in one word, it is bowling discipline that counts. Understanding, awareness of the conditions, and what is the most likely lens to be bowling on these particular wickets is the key to any success for a bowling unit.
Right. In Cape Town, like we saw Kagiso Rabada debutant Nandre Berger also, and even to an extent Marco Jansen as well, execute that 4 to 6 meter length pretty impeccably. When the bowling group, when the boys have a collective day off on the field, like what do you say them? Because I can feel that they must have been emotionally drained out. Like what had happened? It's like a feeling of shock. Now before Cape Town, what does a coach tell them? Are they like what do you say, strong enough to put that defeat out and focus on the Cape Town test immediately after losing in the way they did?
I think Indians are strong enough. they are resilient enough to be able to come back after this test match too. We did come back after being 36 all out in Australia. So losing a test match is, I don't think it's a very, very big deal. But I think how you come back from there is even more important. That shows the character, their resilience, and things like that. So if you really look at the discipline that the South Africans showed, if you look at the pitch map of Rabada in the first innings, it was impeccable. It was, yes, 4 to 6 meter marks are the best because you give a chance for the ball to move as well, or even the seam of the wicket. You are bowling that much quicker because of the trajectory. So not only that, if you look at the line which Rabada bowled, I thought that was exceptional. And the only comparison I can say is I was pretty impressed with Bumrah's bowling, but the rest of them, if you look at their lines, they were much to be desired. Far too much width, and also on certain occasions far too short. So that doesn't suit when you're bowling in South Africa. Like I remember the conversation Ravi Shastri had after the Cape Town Test first innings. He said, "I want you guys to leave the driving license at home. So nothing to drive, nothing up to drive, unless you have something specific, and attack them all the time." So that was the key. That's when the entire bowling revolution started. So I think discipline is of utmost importance.
You mentioned the word bowling revolution. When you were in charge, we were like assured that the Indian bowling department at least had a good bench strength. If you talk about the pacers, starting from Bumrah, Shami, Siraj, then you had Umesh, Ishant, Bhuvi to an extent also. Now suddenly after this defeat, of course, suddenly and after without Mohammad Shami, the way Prasidh Krishna made his debut, he's a supremely talented bowler. But suddenly we are seeing at the bench strength and saying that okay, we are lacking those pacers. So can you talk us about those days when you were pinpointing, you were selecting guys who can be your next line of pacers? What should be the aim going forward for the Indian team management here?
Firstly, when recollecting what happened those days when Virat and Ravi wanted their dream was to have Team India become the number one team in the world. So in order to do that, you do realize that your bowling attack should be really good on any surface. You embrace the conditions, you embrace the surfaces and say, these are home conditions and we need to create a bowling strength which matches up and complements the conditions that we encounter. So yes, we realize India always had fast bowlers. If you notice, even much before these fast bowlers came, there was Sahir Khan, there was Irfan Pathan, there was Munaf Patel, there was Ashish Nehra, R.P. Singh. Before that, Javagal Srinath, Venkatesh Prasad. India always had these fast bowlers. But if you notice, most of these fast bowlers started off in the 140s and towards the later half of their career, they all came down to late 120s. So that we realized over a period of time, I think managing workloads become extremely important. For a fast bowler to remain fresh throughout, so that he's, especially at international level, when you want to be the number one team in the world, you want fast bowlers to be bowling 135 plus. Then it becomes all the more difficult at that pace. If you're moving, it's very very effective to be able to do that. So I think. Also, what is important is time and again, with India playing so many matches, it's extremely important for you to have a pool of bowlers to select from who are ready any given point of time. So anyone you pick, should be able to do the job. And one thing which I can recall is the test match in Brisbane. Collectively, all the 5 bowlers that we played had less than 10 test matches to their credit. But still we ended up winning on that test match series. I think they have had all bowlers who play for the country have enough first class experience. I'm saying yes, when they do come for test matches, they are bowled enough in first class to understand where they need to be bowling. It is their ability to accept what the team plan is, what the bowling plan is, and stick to that plan, which would give us a lot more success than what we see.
If a Bharat Arun was sitting in that dressing room right now, building up to the Cape Town test, what would his message be to all the pacers right now? How would you be executing your training drills there?
Well, I would sit down with each and every bowler and go through what he's bowled, the lines, the lengths, and I would also like to find out what goes on in his mind while he was doing that, and whether what goes in his mind, what he wants to execute and what he's executed have matched up. If not, I have to really look at execution, or it is about mindset, or having if your execution is not great, is your thought process aligning with what you want to do? Either you can go wrong in your execution or your thought process. I think if you sit down with each and every bowler and discuss whether it's a question of execution or a question of thought process, you get the right answers. Also show them areas that they have bowled well in the match, areas that they have troubled the batters, and it is about empowering. You believe in empowering the bowlers so that they understand what is it that they have and what is it that they are lacking. Once you make up, I think the transformation in Cape Town from first innings to second innings was magnificent. It was not magic. It was just awareness of the bowlers as to what they should be doing to do better. If they understand this, all the bowlers that we have are capable of coming back and bowling those very lines to do well. They have done it in the past. I don't see any reason why they can't do it again. But it's about sitting them down and finding out what exactly, where exactly we have gone. We got to be hard. I think constructive criticism is the way forward. Once you get those things right, I'm sure that this bowling attack that we have has enough in them to win us test match overseas.
That's without saying. That's 100%. I completely agree with you there. But are we missing Shami sir somewhere?
Of course, a bowler of the quality of Shami, if he's not available, we'll definitely miss him. But then these are part and parcel of playing test cricket. Bowlers are down with injuries and sometimes they are not available. But it's an opportunity for another bowler to step up. So I would look at it as another opportunity for other bowlers to step up and say, yes, I have got it in me to come back and do my job for the country.
And sir, how crucial is captain out on the field to orchestrate his pace bowlers or his spinners out there? How important is his role, his body language, and his tactical setup important on the field out there?
A captain in cricket, I think, is one of the most important things. How he motivates his bowlers, what he feels about his bowlers, and how he makes them feel, and tactically, what are the inputs that he gives on the field to a bowler. All these play a very, very vital role. And also the confidence he plays, the confidence that he portrays to a bowler. All these things go a long way in the bowlers doing well. Because you say it's about 90% mental. What is the mental side? Mental side is about confidence and absolute faith in your abilities. Once you have that, even people with limited abilities can bring out their talent to the fullest.
And of course, that Gawa match is a perfect example of that. Like, yes, sir. So I was saying, I see this debate on social media that this particular player has played so less of first class cricket. But at one point, I feel that these players are ready after playing IPL cricket. Do you think IPL, when like the Gaba Test, for example, Natarajan played there. Nobody thought that Natarajan would play and help India win a match in Test cricket. But is that a valid debate that you have not played first class cricket? They are not paka hua bowlers, as they say. Is that a fair debate, or do you think these bowlers should grind out in
I don't
Ranji
think so.
Trophy
I
level
think
first?
if a bowler has abilities, and
Hmm.
if you feel he's good enough, I'm sure they all must have
Hmm.
played some amount of first class cricket to be playing for the country. So yes, they
Hmm.
must have done well. That must have caught the eye of the selectors, and then they would have selected them. Having come on to the international scene, I think it's a question of how you mentor them, how challenging you have
Hmm.
situations. You put up challenging situations to them right from practice, so that match is just an extension of your net. So if they can look at even
Hmm.
practice sessions as challenging matches, and work on different accuracies and discipline, I think the same thing would come out when they go on to play
Hmm.
international level as well. So that the preparatory phase to me is
Hmm.
of utmost importance, and what a bowler feels and what he thinks about his game,
Hmm.
and how the bowling coach or the captain and the coach make the bowler realize what his potential and his role in the
Hmm.
team. The biggest challenge is that once they realize what their role in the team is, I think
Right.
then execution becomes that much better.
Last couple of questions from my side, sir. We all love a Jasprit Bumrah story. You were the one who had, taken Bumrah and held him and made him what he's today. Of course, his skills and hard work is there, but you played a very important role. Now you see a leader in Bumrah. What role would his be in that dressing room with Siraj, with the Prasid, with the Mukesh in that dressing room around? How big a role will he play in terms of leadership if India wants to make a comeback in this series?
Huge, huge. I think
Hmm.
Bumrah's role is very, very huge. He not only bowls, he's not only about his bowling, also how he marshals the
Right,
resources of the other bowlers becomes
right.
extremely important. Knowing Bumrah, he's very, very keen. He's extremely sharp. He's a very,
Hmm.
very thinking bowler too. And I'm sure the bowlers must have sat together, they have reworked their strategies, and Bumrah will have a big major role to play in
Hmm.
the bowlers coming back for the next test match.
You see India coming back and leveling this series 1-1.
Indian ability is fabulous. Their resilience and the way they come back is outstanding. They have done it
Hmm.
many times in the past, and
Hmm.
I would say we have all the resources to come back. Um,
Hmm.
it's the question of your mindset. If we strongly believe that we can come back, I think we have everything in us to come back in this other second test match.
My final question to end this fantastic interview, sir. You are in Cape Town with the Indian team. You are giving that final pep talk to your bowling unit. What would you say to them?
I don't think it's about pep talk. It's about
Mm-hmm.
realizing the disciplines, awareness of the conditions. If we can
Right.
get on the same page with the bowlers about the awareness of the conditions, and keep repeating about the basic fundamentals and the discipline that you are expecting out of them, then I think you have the job done. There's no magic in it. It's a lot of hard work, but constant reminder of what we need to do is the key moment here.
Is the key moment here. That was Bharat Arun, an absolute masterclass. I would say a lot of emphasis on mental aspects. I would say, rather, because they have the skills, sir. They have the skills. Now it's all about going out and executing your plans out there.
Under pressure, performing under pressure is the key. and you need a strong
Performing
mind,
under pressure.
and also you need to be totally focused on the process. So once you're
Right.
focused on the process, nothing else matters. Your
Right.
your entire energy is spent on execution of what you need to do. So the pressures don't matter to you at all. So the key would be to be able to focus on the job in hand.
Perfect. That's a perfect note to end this interview with. Thank you so much for your time, and
Welcome.
we look forward to seeing the Indian team in the Cape Town Test, hoping for a series leveling 1-1 draw. Thank you so much for watching, and keep
Hopefully, I wish the Indian team the very best, and I'd be too happy in this new year to see them level the series. All the
that
best.
would be the perfect new year. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Okay.